feel like we say it for a laugh because of that famous commentary, we're back and we're back with a bang, but quite frankly, tonight we are back, and we're back with a bang. Celtic 2, Hibs 0. The winter break is over, thank God, but what a performance to start it off. The second half of the season is going to be a feisty one. Let's talk about that game this evening. Right, the usual. If you're new to the channel, you haven't watched before, it's your first time here, or just if you haven't for some reason, go down below and hit that big red subscribe button. We're on the road to 32,000 subscribers. Let's try and hit it before the end of this month, so please jump down and hit that red button. But enough of that. I just want to talk about tonight. And before I go any further about the game itself, and before I start talking about individual players, before I start waxing lyrical on Reo Hatate, and before I start just delving into all of that, what a feeling to be back at Celtic Park again. I know this time it wasn't as long as, a year and a half. I know it was only 3-4 weeks away from the ground, and I know that we'd been at games for the majority of last year, but what a feeling to be back again. After the uncertainty and after the break being moved and after another outbreak of different fucking COVID variants, just brilliant to be back once more. And just a quick reminder that there was certain people out there, and I'm not categorising an entire support here. What I'm saying is there was people within a certain support who were very much happy enough to play games behind closed doors. What losers. What absolute losers. That's football. Football with a closed stadium isn't the same sport. It's a shadow of the sport. Football, nothing without the fans. We all know it. We don't need to repeat it, but that is why we moved this break. You can make up excuses all you like for Shat and all the rest of it. That's why we wanted the fans back. 10 out of the 12 Premiership clubs wanted fans back, because what a feeling it was there tonight, singing You'll Never Walk Alone, watching the disco lights, joining in with the fun. It's not the same. Some players, some teams, some fans like to actually be in the stadium. And what a game to be in for. Celtic 2, Hibs 0. A fantastic performance, a fantastic result. When we walked into the stadium this evening, me and Kieran and David, when we got there, and I sat down, the first thing I said to them was, do you know what, I'm actually not fussed about the performance tonight, as long as we win the game. I just want to win every single game from now till the end of the season, ideally. But from now until the derby especially, I really do want us to win each and every game. And it's of mass importance that we win each and every game. There is no room to drop points between now and the 2nd of February. So I was saying, I'm not even bothered. Do you know what? It could be the poorest 1-0 win ever, or we could go and win 7-0 tonight. I don't care. As long as we get the 3 points, and we've done exactly that. But we did deliver a fantastic performance alongside that. It was brilliant to watch. It was like there wasn't a break at all. Sometimes teams come back from extended breaks, and some teams haven't played in a while, and they come back, and it takes them a wee game or two to find their footing, and it takes them a wee bit to get back to the standards they've been at. That didn't happen for Celtic tonight, and we've seen that almost instantly. We've seen that as we scored so early on in the game, but we came back into it as if we hadn't been away, and we picked up from where we left off with changes in the squad, players coming back, new players coming in. We just played that same way Ange Ball has been flowing for months now, and it was a real joy to watch once more. There's one thing you can't complain about this season, and it's your entertainment value you're getting. Ange just came in, he's brought this football, this non-stop football. We've seen Jurgen Klopp describe Dortmund's football as heavy metal. Then this is a step above that. I don't know what comes after heavy metal in the music charts, but we're certainly, I think, the next step from that. Absolutely tremendous today from Celtic. And let's talk about that game before we get to the 3 things that I think we learned. As I said, what a start. We avoided a very early scare, right enough. I don't know if you want to remember it. Let's just pretend it never happened. Hibs did have a very, very good chance in the opening couple of minutes. But you know what? Another credit to Celtic in the way that we're playing just now, in the way the players are mentally. We're strong. We picked it up. And we went from it. It wasn't like it gave us a fright. I don't think there didn't seem to be any form of negative reaction from anyone. We got the ball. We picked it up. We went up the park and scored. You can't ask for a better response than that from an early scare. And Dyson Maeda, Jesus Christ superstar. Dyson Maeda superstar. A brilliant introduction to life at Celtic and a very early goal in his career. And there was that feeling, there was that inevitability tonight that he was going to score. I think half the stadium would have probably had him on their cooting for Dyson Maida to get a goal tonight, and he done that. He got his goal. Very well taken. And I had this slight, when I was watching it from my seat, I thought we gubbed it, to be quite honest. I thought Rogic held onto the ball a little too long, and he wasn't going to get it off to Maida in time, but he did get it to Maida in time. He puts it in the back of the net. You can't exactly complain about it, and it's a first goal for him. He was brilliant. I thought in that first half he was very energetic. It was like a kind of a part two to Kyogo, if you like, the running, the pressing, the constant charging down of defenders to try and win the ball. He's going to be another handful, just like Kyogo's been so far this season. Dyson Maida is going to be a handful for defenders in this league for so many reasons. On the ball, off the ball. I'm hoping he scores as many goals as well, but you can't ask for a better start than what he's had to his Celtic career there tonight. Rest of the first half, it was just fantastic. I think, the second half we certainly did take our foot off the gas a little bit, and we'll come on to that, but the first half was just fantastic. It was like constant, just going for it, balls to the wall. We kept going forward and forward and forward, and we weren't giving Hibs the chance to breathe, and they weren't getting the chance to kind of gather themselves, and you've seen that in Hibs' play. I think Sean Maloney will be slightly disappointed in that first half performance for how sloppy Hibs were. A lot of their passing out of the back was either going out a player, it was going to a Celtic player, it just wasn't hitting the target. And I think that's more down to how Celtic played in that first half rather than how bad Hibs were, you could say. I think that Celtic were pressing so well, we were making it anxious for them, we were making it very nervy for them. And that was every player doing their bit in that. Forrest, Abada, Maida, the whole midfield defence. Everybody was chipping in towards that and making it really kind of stressful for Hibs to take a real hold on it. And we just kept going forward and creating chance after chance. It was bombardment. And I was, very much enjoying it, to be quite honest. A big smile on my face watching, off my seat every couple of seconds. And we're winning set piece after set piece. We're charging down to every second ball. And it's a Celtic side that are just so eager, so determined to do things right. And we eventually get that second goal via the penalty, but we worked hard. We got that penalty through a handball. It was, from where I was sitting, looked a clear handball, looked the correct decision. And Josip Juranovic, take a bow. He did take a bow. Plants it away, and he's a really good penalty taker. There is no doubt who the penalty taker is in this team. I think he's one of the best penalty takers I've seen at Celtic in a long time. I mean, we had Edouard, but he's a really good penalty taker. You can get those Panenkas like you did against Leverkusen in the very high pressure moments, or you can get him just blast it into the back of the net, ripping the onion bag, and that's what he done tonight there. And look at that second goal. I say this a lot on my channel. I say this a lot when I do these videos. You get a feeling sometimes in football, and I certainly do a lot. When a goal goes in, you know the game is over. As soon as it was 2-0 tonight, the way we were playing, I knew the game was over. There was no chance Hibs were coming back into that game to score two goals. If they went up the park and scored quickly, then you're opening room for conversation. But that feeling was there when that second goal. It's just gut. There's nothing to suggest that is it, but your gut tells you sometimes, and it told me tonight that was game over at 2-0. And we just had a real sort of grip on the game that Hibs couldn't break in the first half. Yeah, second half wasn't as eventful, but look, we still, I think, dominated the game. We were the better side. We still created chances, and there was a plethora of positives for Celtic over the course of that 90 minutes. Just because we didn't score in the second half, and just because it wasn't as exciting, doesn't mean we didn't play well. We did play well. We seen out the game well. And Hibs did have a couple of chances here and there moving forward with it, but we were in no real trouble. I think our defence was absolutely spectacular tonight. And Hibs are a good side. They've got a lot of good players. They've got a new manager. They're in a little, kind of moment of revitalisation. It could have been a tricky one tonight, and it was. There was still a contest to be had there, but we handled it really well. We held on into our lead effectively. Ultimately, Celtic were just very, very good tonight, and it's the perfect way to start this. It was very nervy in a way going into that game, because you're thinking, Hibs are doing okay with Maloney in. This could be a banana peel sort of moment, but no signs of it at all. A dominant Celtic display, and 3 points on the board. feel like this is such a longer match review than normal, but it's been so long that I forgot how to kind of condense it into a short video, and there's so much to talk about. I feel like shouting out every single... Look, there wasn't a bad performance in the park tonight for Celtic, I thought even the subs coming on done their job well. You know, Jota, for example, only played about 10-15 minutes, nothing to write home about, but didn't do anything wrong. Everybody that played tonight for Celtic was fantastic. It wasn't a bad performance, and yeah, I'm buzzing about that. But let's get on to these three things that we learned very quickly. Reo Hatate. Wow. You look at a player sometimes, and you know they're a player, and you know they're going to be a star for your club. Doesn't matter if they've played 10, 20, 30, 90, 200, 1,000 minutes, doesn't matter. Reo Hatate is a PLER player. Tremendous tonight. Sublime footballer, man of the match. And he is the midfielder that I think could be the game changer for Celtic. Not just this season, but for future seasons. He was so composed. He done work defensively. He done work offensively. He was everywhere while looking like he wasn't shedding an ounce of effort. He was just simply phenomenal to watch this evening. His passing, his reading of the game. What a player. What a bargain. What a steal. We have got a real talent on our hands here, ladies and gentlemen. A real talent. Reo Hatate. We spoke about Maida and how big that goal is for him and what a start it is to his Celtic career, but I think Hatate is the one who deserves all the headlines, all the glamour of tonight's game, because he was special on that park tonight. And I'm hoping that it's not just a one-game extravaganza and it's not just a sort of debut masterclass. I'm hoping this is the every game sort of standard of Reo Hatate. Look, he's everything that was described to us. Everything that I said in these videos and the transfer talks about the kind of player we could be expecting. Christ, I was saying that I think he would be getting played at left back for Celtic. I regret saying that because you cannot waste a talent like that at Greg Taylor's position. That's offensive to all left backs around the world. But you can't waste a player like that with that quality. He is a shoe-in for the first team for the starting 11 every week. If he's playing like that, absolutely. What a player. I don't like getting carried away. I don't like doing a Ryan McGinley and tweeting 700 tweets in a night about players and stuff. But he was honestly brilliant to watch. The Ferguson clip, the best club's best ever player. No, he was, look, in all honesty, he was fantastic tonight. I hope he keeps that up. And he's looking to be a cracking signing. Number 2, Carl Starfelt. Take a bow, son. Take a bow. Because for some reason this week on Twitter, Carl Starfelt's ability has been called into severe questioning out of nowhere, out of the blue. There was nothing to kind of trigger it. It just happened. And honest Carl Starfelt fan and honest Carl Starfelt backer, tonight's performance was fantastic, and I think it was one of his best performances in a Celtic shirt so far. I'm not going to say that's the standard that he's going to obviously deliver every week. I hope it is. I'm not coming out to say he's the best thing from sliced bread, but what I'm saying is, you know, take a bow in a week where you have come under some criticism to come out with a performance like that. Absolutely fantastic. And not just him, Cameron Carter-Vickers. That centre-half partnership, there is no doubt about it, is the best centre-half partnership in the league. And I know that, you know, there's a lot of Rangers fans who are quick to jump on things I say. You know, I said things about Duffy, and we all know. I like to think that I come on here and I try to be as reserved as possible about making outlandish claims, but right now they are. They are. They simply are. That is fact. The statistics show it as well. You know, we've conceded the least amount of goals in the league with that partnership, especially. They're fantastic together. Really, really good. And tonight it was brilliant for Starfelt. Look, now it's very simple. And it's as simple as Starfelt going out in the next game and having a howler. That can happen. But he deserves to take credit for tonight's performance. And I think that he shows the quality of player he is there. People are getting on his back for no reason, I think. And people are wanting to see him fail. That type of performance, he's not going to fail at this club when he plays like that. I'll tell you that right now. Well in Starfelt, well in Carter-Vickers. What a partnership we have at the back. It is the most confident I've been in a centre-half duo for a long, long time. You know, for a very long time. Number 3, quite simply. Look, there's a lot to talk about. I was delighted with Forrest's return. I thought he was good tonight. Giakoumakis is good to see get back in the park. Jota is good to see get back in the park. I thought Ideguchi looked decent coming off the bench. Juranovic was great. Hart is just Joe Hart. I love him. That first touch from the chest. Beautiful, brilliant. I would think about that tonight. But quite simply, the third thing, thank Christ we're back. I'm so happy we're back. Back in the ground, back in the tellies, back playing football. We're back. And this is going to be a very, very fun second half of the season. Make sure to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts below. And that'll do me for tonight. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good sleep. See you tomorrow. Cheerio.